Today we're going to have a go and see if we can divide cyclamen. And everyone will tell you that you can't divide cyclamen, and I will say, please don't tell me I can't, because I will almost certainly do it. And I figured out how to divide cyclamen some years ago. We're now in September, and this is a cyclamen hedropholium flowering. And hedropholium is the easiest species to do. I have done other species, but hedropholium is the easiest one. And there's a suitable plant here about the right size to have a go at, so we'll have a go at that. We'll dig that one up and we'll have a look at it on the table. And here's another one that looks about the right kind of size and shape. It needs to be about 3 to 4 years old, with lots and lots of crowns and a reasonable size to chop up. Okay, so we're looking at dividing Cyclamen hedropholium, and here's a plant of Cyclamen hedropholium, one that I just dug up. And if you look very, very carefully, you can see it's got a superabundance of fibrous root, masses of fibrous root produced all around the tuber. And you look at the bottom, there's an area in the middle with no root, but actually all around the outside there's masses of fibrous root. And there's only 2 species that do this, or possibly 3 if we're lucky. So there's Cyclamen hedropholium, and then the very closely related Cyclamen crassifolium, and another species called confusum. So almost all the other species only have one taproot that comes from the bottom, and when that taproot is damaged or broken, they find it very, very difficult to grow new roots. With hedropholium, because it's got so many fibrous roots all the way around the outside, first of all, you've always got some root on each piece, and secondly, it can make new roots from the edges of the existing tuber. So we're going to just try and break some of the earth off a little bit so we can see the tuber a bit better, like this. Okay. And then you can really see that fibrous root on there. You can see all the way around there's an absolute mass of fibrous roots going on all the way around it, absolutely loads. And so that's why this species is the easiest one to do. And as I'm turning it, I'm starting to see the kind of lines which I can use to cut it, and I'll cut this into pieces. So each piece has got to have a fibrous root, a piece of tuber, and a crown. So there must be 3 different things going on. There must be a crown, the tuber, and some fibrous root. And if you've got all those 3 pieces, then you should be quite successful. So the challenge is to find the right place to cut. And this is so often with plants, when you're dealing with plants, is finding the right place. Can you see I'll just wiggle that leaf over just a little bit like that? You can see that leaf is now wiggled over, and then what I'll do is I'll then cut, and I'll try and cut it into pieces which are halfway across. So let's get down here. So if I've chosen the right place, then I have this. So I have a tuber that's been cut. It still has the roots, it still has the shoots. And when I look very carefully at this, this piece I think has come loose. Yeah, that's come loose. But when I look really carefully at this, there's only the one crown. There's one crown on here. If I was brave, I would then cut through the centre of the crown, but you have to cut exactly through the centre of the crown. And if you get it wrong, the crown will come off and you'll be left with a piece of tuber with no crowns. If you look carefully here, you can just see there's little bits of 2 crowns going on there. You can just see those little 2 white lines there. So it might be possible, if I'm incredibly careful, I can cut through there, and we might get 4 pieces. So I'm just going to go very, very carefully, really gently, like that. Okay, so what we've got is each piece still has a crown or part of a crown, it has the tuber and it has the fibrous root. So the next most important thing is to use a treatment on this cut surface. It's a very big cut surface, so it's quite difficult for the plant to heal it. So we're going to put on it what I always use in all these situations, which is flowers of sulphur. And flowers of sulphur are a natural product, and what the sulphur does is that it makes the cut surface so acid that fungi and bacteria can't attack the cut surface. So I'm going to put flowers of sulphur onto that cut surface. Right, down it goes like this. So the cut surface is liberally doused in flowers of sulphur. And then we're going to do the next piece. Again, you can see it's got a crown, it's got the tuber, it's got the fibrous root, and we put those down and we're going to let those dry out. So we're going to leave them to dry out for a bit. You can see there's two pieces there. I'm now going to cut the other piece up as much as I can, see how many I can get out of this. And the drying out is actually very important part of the whole process, because the drying out is also helping the plant to seal up the surface that you've just damaged. So I'm going to try and cut in here, somewhere about there. Right, so there's another piece again. It's got everything it needs. It's got the shoot, it's got the fibrous roots, and it's got the tuber. Put that down there. We've still got this piece left here, and if I'm really lucky, I'm not going to go for broke, but I'm going to get two out of here just by carefully wiggling in there. And it's, you know, getting the knife in the right place at the beginning is the challenge. So now we've got a very uneven and wonky shaped piece, but it still has all the essential ingredients. It's got the shoot, it's got some tuber, and it's got some root. Again, we're going to cover it in sulphur and let it dry out. And then our last piece is a little tiny piece, and again, it's got all the relevant bits, so we know that's going to work. Right, so I leave those to dry out for about a quarter of an hour. Now, we're doing it in September, but I have done this as late as November, and it still worked. So I do this, the leaves can be coming in November. You get these sections, you dry them out a little bit, and then normally I just plant them straight back in the ground, not too deep, plant them straight in the ground. Cyclamen, this particular cyclamen, always likes much drier conditions, so do not put it where it's going to get wet in the winter. It really wants to be dry. It wants to be around the foot of trees or on banks and things like that. It does not like getting wet. Okay, so each one of these pieces that I plant out, it starts off being this triangular wedge shaped piece. In year one, it will callus over this surface, so the surface will get callus. It will grow, if you like, it will grow new skin over this surface, but the piece will still be wedge shaped. And in year two, it starts to change shape. It starts to bulge out and become much more like a knobbly potato. Year 3 and year 4, if you dig up plants in year 3 and year 4, you will find they have become a perfect circle again, so they're perfectly circular. And you also find that this surface, which is callous and then has got a skin growing over it, this surface can then actually start producing roots. And I know this is amazing, but it really does do it. This surface will start producing roots, and you'll end up with a circular tuber that you cannot tell from the original. Okay, here's a piece I did about 3 years ago. So you can see it's got the crown in the middle, which possibly I might be able to cut in half. You can see the semicircular shape around the back like that. So you can see the semicircular shape. And then on the front side, you can see the surface that I cut. So you can see the shape where I cut it. And if you look, it's become brown and it's grown a skin over the cut surface. So essentially it's healed itself. And if you look, you can still see the fibrous root is going on here. Now I've just exposed this one so you can actually see what's going on about 3 years after I did the first operation, and now I'm just going to bury it back again because this, as I say, was just to show you what it looks like. Okay, here's another one. I must have done this one, I suppose, about 5 or 6 years ago. You can see it's got all the relevant pieces. It's got crowns, it's got fibrous roots, it's got a tuber, and the tuber isn't perfectly circular, but it's getting there. Give it another year or two and it will be circular, and if we're really lucky, we're going to get multiple crowns here, and maybe I can divide it again. Now, the division of cyclamen is, you might say, they're so easy from seed, why would I want to do that? You would want to do that if you have some of the more rare and unusual ones, and some varieties can cost up to £15 each. Some varieties have got the most amazingly beautiful leaves, and if you've got those ones, that's when it's worth chopping them up. And this is a case in point for chopping up Cyclamen hedropholium tubers. This is a variety called Daly Thompson, and it has really huge white flowers, enormous white flowers. It does come from seed, but it's very slow and doesn't produce many seeds at any one time, and therefore it's easier just to chop it up. So, as I say, each individual flower is absolutely massive. It's almost twice the size of any other white Cyclamen hedropholium flower. They are enormous, but as I say, it's quite a rare variety. And here's a variety called Red Sky with incredibly dark pinky purple flowers.